In the green rolling hills of Yorubaland lies the Oroke in Itapa, Ekiti. This kingdom is ancient and proud. Its people are deeply connected to their traditions and their soil. The heart of this kingdom has always been the royal family, the keepers of history and the protectors of the people's spirit. Every child in Itapa, Ekiti grows up hearing stories of the great prince who came from Ikole and settled in Itapa as Obaloke. The royal lineage is not just a line of rulers, it is the very soul of the community, a living link to the ancestors and the gods who watch over the land. The palace in Ikole is more than a building, it is a symbol of unity and strength for all. Agbadamosa was a prince of Ikole kingdom. He was the firstborn son, destined by birthright to wear the crown. He was strong, respected, and loved by many. People saw him as the future king. But this is the long story of how Agabadmosa became the Obaloke in Itapa rather than the Ekole of Ikole kingdom. Fate had a different plan for Agabadmosa. When the time came for a new king to be chosen, the throne of Ikole was given to his younger brother, Otutubiosun. This decision sent ripples of shock and confusion through the kingdom. The established order was broken, and a deep division grew within the royal court and among the people who had expected Agbadamosa to lead them. This was a moment that could have led to war, a moment that could have torn the kingdom apart from the inside. But Agbadamosa was a leader of deep character and wisdom. He looked at the faces of his family, his loyal supporters, and the followers who had sworn their allegiance to him. He saw the conflict brewing in their eyes. He knew that fighting his own brother for the crown would only bring bloodshed and sorrow to the land he loved so dearly. He made a choice that day, a difficult but profound decision that would echo through the generations. It was a choice for peace over power. Instead of fighting for the throne, Agbadamosa decided to leave. He announced that he would not contest his brother's rule. He would not raise a sword against his own blood. He gathered his wives, his children, his chiefs, and all the people who believed in his leadership. He told them they would walk away from the kingdom of Ikole. They would leave behind their homes, their lands, and the life they had always known. It was an act of immense sacrifice, a testament to his belief that true leadership is about protecting your people, not just ruling them. His journey into exile was about to begin. The day of departure was heavy with sorrow and uncertainty. The procession included his immediate family, who clung to him for reassurance, and hundreds of followers who had chosen loyalty to a man over loyalty to a place. They were leaving everything behind, stepping into an unknown future. Their journey was not easy. But they relied on each other for survival and support. The shared struggle forged unbreakable bonds between them. After a long and tiring trek, they finally found a place to settle in a town called Itapa, ancient town with great people and history. The king and the people welcomed them with open arms. That is how Oroke in Itapa was born. It was a place born from sacrifice and resilience. Agbadamosa, the prince who had given up a throne, now became the founder, and Obaloke, the first in Itapa. This was not the end of his story, but the beginning of a different, and perhaps even greater chapter for him and his people. The title of Obaloke became a new kind of royalty. It was not inherited from an ancient line of kings in a grand palace, but linked to the great tradition of Ikole Kingdom. The Obaloke was a symbol of leadership that puts people first. Agbadamosa, as the first Obaloke, set the standard. The rituals and traditions of the Obaloke were established during his reign, reflecting their unique history. These ceremonies were not about immense wealth or power, but about remembering their journey and celebrating their survival and unity. The succession of the Obaloke title was passed down through Agbadamosa's lineage, creating a new royal dynasty. Each new Obaloke inherited the story of their founder. The legacy passed from Obaloke I, Agbadamosa himself, down through the generations. The story of leaving Ikole Ekiti became the founding myth of their community, a powerful tale of identity that shaped every Obaloke who followed. This was more than just a title. It was a sacred responsibility to uphold the values of their first leader. Over time, the Obaloke title became deeply respected. The story of Agbadamosa and his peaceful departure from Ikole Ekiti spread across the neighboring lands. It became a powerful example of leadership, defined by integrity rather than ambition. The Obaloke was seen as a different kind of leader. A chief with a crown was forged in the fire of adversity and whose throne was built on a foundation of loyalty and love from his people. The legacy of the Obaloke was a testament to the idea that true royalty lies in the heart, not just in a palace. The story of the Obaloke did not end with Agbadamosa. It continued through his descendants, from Obaloke I to Obaloke VIII, each adding a new page to the epic tale. Each generation faced its own set of challenges. There were disputes over land, conflicts with neighboring towns, and internal disagreements. At times, the legacy of the Obaloke was tested in the courts, with rivals challenging the legitimacy of the title. These court battles were not just legal fights. They were battles to protect their history and their identity. The Obalokes had to prove, time and again, that their claim was built on the solid rock of their founder's sacrifice. The rituals of the Obaloke became central to their community life in Itapa, Ekiti. These ceremonies were a living history lesson, reenacting parts of their journey and honoring the spirit of Agbadamosa. When a new Obaloke was installed, the rituals would remind everyone of their origins, of the painful decision to leave Ikole Ekiti and the difficult walk to their new home. These traditions kept the memory alive and ensured that the younger generations understood the values upon which their town was built. The spirit of unity and resilience was woven into the very fabric of their culture through these powerful symbolic acts. The relationship with Ikole Ekiti also evolved over time. What began as a painful separation slowly healed. Generations passed and the bitterness faded, replaced by a unique connection between the Oroke and the Ikole kingdom. They were two branches of the same family tree. The people of Ikole Ekiti came to respect the legacy of the prince who walked away. The story of Agbadamosa served as a lesson for them as well, a reminder of the human side of royalty and the difficult choices leaders must make. The two communities, once divided by a throne, were now linked by a shared, complex, and deeply human history. Today, the legacy of the Obaloke is a powerful symbol of the endurance of tradition and the strength of the human spirit. It shows that leadership is not always about holding on to power, but sometimes about letting it go for the greater good. The story of Agbadamosa and his descendants has had a lasting impact, shaping the identity of the people of Itapa Ekiti and leaving an indelible mark on the history of the entire region. It is a timeless tale of family, loyalty, and the profound truth that a leader's true kingdom is the hearts of their people.